Hey, Mike, I just want to ask you, you're in a great groove right now. Do you remember another time in your career when you were in a groove like this, when you were playing so well?
I can recall a few times. I think there has been stretches throughout the course of my career where I've played well, but I think the hardest part about being a good goalie in this league is his consistency, and I think every guy talks about it. But been one of my big focuses this year is just to treat every game like a new game and not to get too fired up if it doesn't go my way. And it's turned into some pretty good hockey, but you can't do it alone back there. So the team's, definitely deserves a lot of credit the way we've, hung around games this year and be able to push games along. And goalie's just one aspect of that, but it takes more than just one guy to win.
Is there extra satisfaction for you putting probably the final nail in Calgary's playoff hopes here, considering the rival they are?
Yep.
Perfect, thanks.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
You talked about trying to keep your emotions, in check when it doesn't go your way. Did Matthew Tkachuk test those emotions for you tonight?
Never. I think it's it's part of the game. Obviously, as you go into important games, into playoff games, guys are going to do whatever they can to get under your skin. And there's nothing I haven't seen before, so I enjoy that part of it. I enjoy the competitive aspect of the game, and there's going to be bumps and knocks and slashes and stuff like that, and it kind of fires me up, to be honest.
Now, you've been around this team for a couple of years. What are the things that make you think that you're playoff ready, that maybe we didn't have around here last year? What are the things that this team can do now that you think gives you a better chance here to do something in the playoffs?
Well, hopefully we don't have another break before we have to go into a playoff atmosphere. I talked about it last year. I thought we were playing some of our best hockey before the pause, and then you go into a bubble situation where no one's kind of done that before. And personally, I wasn't mentally ready for that. I think our team's in a lot different spot this year, and I think we've came a long ways, mentally, finding ways to win different ways, throughout the course of the season, whether it be up, coming back, or holding leads. Just seen a lot of maturity within our group, and not just on the ice, but off the ice too, in the locker room, how we're handling ourselves, and what guys are talking about. It's about team first, and we've seen a lot of those different things this year that maybe we didn't have in the past. But I think the guys are just real excited about playing important games, and not that these aren't important, but you get to a point in the season where it's these are mentally difficult games when you look at the standings, and you just kind of want to get to the real games now. But saying that, we've talked about it before, about not being a switch we can turn on and off. We want to be going in playing good hockey too.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Mike, Connor was saying that he thought the team had a really good first period, not a very good second period, and then shut it down in the third period. Is that how you saw it from the goalie's perspective?
Yeah, I thought we came out with a lot of jump tonight. Obviously, last game wasn't ideal back-to-back for us, and you could tell we just our energy level was as low as I've seen it in a long time. And tonight was the opposite. I thought we were jumping. The first period was real solid. And then I don't know if we thought it was just going to be, they were just going to go away, but, they just kept coming at us, and we kind of sat back a little bit and didn't really do anything to push the game along. And the third period, obviously, you just find a way to win a game, and I think that's obviously something we've done all year, and it's an important part of, winning important games.
And everybody wants to talk about Connor McDavid maybe getting 100 points. He doesn't seem all that excited about it as a teammate. Would it interest you that he got 100 points in a 56-game season?
It would interest me very much so. If he does that, we should have a fairly good chance to win some games here in the last few bits. So nothing ceases to amaze me with this kid. It's incredible how he continues to get better and better. And you know, the harder it gets, it seems like when he gets shut down one game, the next game he's that much more hungry to get out there and help the team win. And it says a lot about the maturity of him as a person. And everybody knows how incredible he is on the ice, but I've seen a young man grow into a leader of this hockey club, and obviously a huge part of why we've had success this year. So impressive to watch a young guy like that take this team on his shoulders and do what he's done this year is an incredible feat.
Thanks, Mike.
Daniel Bowman, The Athletic.
Mike, you've had a very, very strong season here. And last season, aside from, there was about a month and a half that I know you talked about during the kind of the middle part of the season that didn't go the way you wanted. This year, there hasn't really been any lulls in your game. How have you been able to kind of go through that and be as consistent as you've been able to be this season?
Stayed on top of my game in practice. Schwartzy and I have done, had a plan and kind of stuck to it all year. Had kind of a routine that we've been going through, and mentally, I'm just feel like I'm in a good place, in a good headspace. It's not been easy, but honestly, it's as cliche as it comes. But I've been really focused on just one game at a time, and it sounds ridiculous, but it's just something I've really, been really focused on this year. And, I get emotionally invested in hockey games. I think everyone knows that at this point in my career. And I think this year I'm doing my best to just control what I can control, and that's whatever happens in front of me doesn't matter. I'm back there to make saves when stuff happens, and there's going to be mistakes in games. And I've just really, really hunkered down and battled in those situations and not tried to do more than I'm supposed to do.
You've been on a lot of good teams throughout the course of your career. Where at this point, I know the season's not over yet, but where do you think this one has the potential of ranking?
I mean, it's hard to rank from year to year and team to team, but I've seen a team the last 2 years grow tremendously, which is really exciting. Really exciting, and I just know we're super excited about playing in the playoffs and going in, knowing we can beat any team in the North. And if you do that, anything can happen. So I think these games are tough mentally down the stretch. They're just tough. You see the standings and you see where you're at. You want obviously home ice advantage. But mentally, you kind of just want to get through these games and keep pushing forward and keep building, and then let the real games begin. So I think there's a feeling in the locker room that we want to continue to be playing well going into the most important games, but we want to we're itching, chomping at the bit here to get in those games.